Welcome to Living Mosaic. I am Ian,
And I'm Lauren.
and we are the Millers.
You may be wondering, what is Living Mosaic podcast?
And to be honest, we're kind of wondering the same thing as we approach this. It is somewhat coming out of just our life, really over the course of our marriage and the journeys that we've gone through, a lot of the pain and some of the traumas that we've been through.
Yeah, I definitely think that's where it got birthed out of. It was this, as a mom of six, lots of birth references. I'll try to keep it to a minimum, but it was birthed out of this place of immense pain. And we believe that life gets messy, that things get broken and shattered and sometimes go beyond repair. And we have the opportunity to become a living mosaic. And so through health journeys, life journeys, all those different things, we have the capability to make something beautiful out of our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And we both have a Christian faith background, and that is going to be very integrated into this journey, our journeys, obviously, because it's a huge part of our life,
Yeah.
the ups and downs of that. And so that is going to be a big element of it, is discussing how our relationship with God, or at points total lack of relationship with God, has interacted with the rebuilding and even the breaking of the
mosaic.
mosaic.
Absolutely.
And so that's definitely going to be elements of it.
Yeah. And I mean, for me personally, I came to know Jesus at the age of 4, I believe. I remember my friend asking Jesus into her heart, and then her dad leading me through the prayer. And I lived intimately with him, up through my 20s until life took an aggressive turn.
And I have a little bit different upbringing. I was definitely raised in a Christian family, but I don't have many memories of church, like I vaguely remember some sort of salvation, I wouldn't say experience, but prayer reciting, because there's a big difference.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later on in life that I feel like I truly gave my life and had a relationship with Jesus. And so that is definitely going to be a contrast in this of our two different upbringings as we address so many of these topics that we're going to go over. A big note we want to put out there is that we're not theologians. We are not, we don't have our doctorates in theological studies, any of these things. We are primarily going to be discussing things from our experience, our viewpoints, how those things have changed. We will be, discussing scripture. We'll be discussing life. We'll be discussing at points potentially business and those kind of things, and how the course of life and the breaking and the things that happen enable you to rebuild in different beautiful ways. And so, that is a big thing of, we're not trying to convince anybody of anything specific. We're not trying to sit here and preach at anybody.
We want to provoke people to think. We want to invite people to wrestle.
Yeah, so we're not trying to sit up here and preach a sermon. We're trying to open up discussions, and discuss some of the hard things. And we want, honestly, dialogue with the different, sides or parties involved with things, and maybe not make it so divided, but instead to open up discussion to where there can be healing. And, that's a huge vision for this, is as people that have gone through a lot, have experienced hurt in our faith from church, all those things, we know firsthand what it can be like. And so we want to open up the dialogue to where there can be healings, where people can, go back to engaging faith or whatever it is, and that, the faith communities can be a part of that healing journey as well. So that's really our vision for this, is not to come up here and, preach and throw Bibles at people, but
to invite you into the table to have a conversation, that we can have conversations in the comments. You can message us. We want to hear from you guys as well. That way it is an open dialogue, whether it's in our faith conversations, our marriage conversations, family conversations. We've been through the gambit when it comes to raising kids and parenting. And we want to share all of those different facets because we do better as a human race if there's conversation and there is empathy and communication.
Exactly. And so that's really just the vision for this, is to facilitate conversation and healing ultimately through, our stories. And a future vision for the podcast is to discuss other people's stories on the podcast, have guests come and discuss their stories, have experts, leaders, etc. That's really the goal and the vision. And so that is something that we want to do, because we want to be opening up the table and facilitating healing.
We're excited for this. We hope you are too. Please like and follow along, and hit subscribe.
Yeah, for sure. And, as we release more, and if you guys really enjoy it, the most helpful thing to build and to grow the conversation is to share the podcast and what we're doing. Share it with your friends, family, people you like, people you don't like, whatever, all that.
We want them all.
Exactly.
Thank you for joining in on this,
and a lot more to come.